Welcome back to Mega Psyche, where we take the things you have always felt about yourself but could never explain, and we put the science behind them so you finally understand what is actually going on inside your own mind. Today we are talking about something that has quietly made millions of people feel stupid, careless, and rude their entire lives. And by the end of this video, you are never going to feel that way about it again. Here's a scenario. You are standing directly in front of someone you have met at least 3 times. Maybe 4. You have had full conversations with this person. You know things about their life. And their name is just gone. Not hovering at the tip of your tongue. Not hiding somewhere in the back of your mind. Just completely and cleanly absent, as if it was never stored anywhere in the first place. And the worst part is not even forgetting itself. The worst part is the 12 seconds of pure improvised theater that comes immediately after. Subtly shifting your body. Desperately scanning the room, hoping someone else will say their name first. Silently praying their phone rings. Briefly considering whether a fire alarm would be too dramatic a solution. We have all been there. But here is what nobody is telling you. The people who do this most consistently, who chronically and repeatedly forget names, are not careless. They are not rude. And they are almost certainly not as unintelligent as they have been quietly led to believe their whole lives. There is something very specific happening inside their brain. And once you understand it, everything changes. Drop a 1 in the comments right now if you are constantly forgetting names. And drop a 2 if you somehow remember every single name you have ever heard. Because I genuinely want to know which one of you is the majority here. Let us start at the exact moment you meet someone new. Because what your brain is doing in that moment is absolutely wild. The second you walk up to a stranger, your brain launches into a full simultaneous operation. It is reading their face, registering their tone of voice, calculating the social context, figuring out where you stand with this person, determining whether they like you and whether you like them, preparing what you're going to say next. Your working memory, which is a short-term processing space in your prefrontal cortex, is essentially juggling 6 different tasks at the exact same time. And right into the middle of all of that cognitive chaos, someone hands you a single arbitrary sound. Hi, I am Kevin. Kevin. Okay, Kevin. But here's the problem. Kevin does not mean anything. It does not connect to anything you already know. It does not trigger an image, a concept, a feeling, or an association in your brain. It just sits there, completely isolated, in a mind that is frankly far too busy to babysit it. And your brain, being the ruthlessly efficient machine that it is, makes a quiet executive decision. And Kevin does not make the cut. Now here's where Mega Psyche brings in the science that will completely reframe how you see this. In 1987, psychologists McWeeny and Ellis published a study that revealed something they called the Baker-Baker paradox. And this is one of the most revealing findings in all of memory psychology. They showed participants a photo of a person and told one group that the person in the photo was a baker by profession. They told a completely separate group that the same person's surname was Baker. Days later, the people who learned the occupation remembered it with ease. The people who learned it as a name, almost completely blank. Same word, completely different retention rate. And the reason is devastatingly simple. The word baker as a profession activates an entire web of associations in your brain. Flour, bread, early mornings, the smell of something warm, a whole sensory world attached to one word. But baker as a name, it activates nothing. It floats there rootless with no connections, no hooks, nothing for your memory to grab onto. Names by their very nature are semantically empty. And your brain holds on to things that mean something. Names, almost by design, mean nothing. Think about the last emotionally significant event you attended. You probably remember the specific atmosphere in the room. The way someone looked when they said something that hit you in the chest. The sentence that stayed with you for days afterward. You do not remember every printed word on the program because your brain made a decision without consulting you about what was worth keeping. And it was never going to be the printed text. Names are the printed text. Everything else about a person is a memory your brain actually wanted to keep. Make sure you are subscribed to Mega Psyche right now, because this is exactly the kind of psychological truth we unpack every single week. and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Now, here is the part that is going to get a little more personal. And I need you to sit with this honestly, because it is more uncomfortable than most people expect. A significant number of chronic name forgetters are not forgetful because they are careless. They are forgetful because they are extremely inside their own heads during social interactions, and not in an arrogant way, in an anxious way. While the other person is literally in the middle of introducing themselves, these people are running a full internal commentary at the same time. Am I making enough eye contact right now? Was that handshake too firm? Did I just accidentally interrupt them? Do I look as awkward as I feel? The name enters briefly, and then the internal monologue bulldozes straight over it before it ever had a chance to stick. This is actually documented in psychology research. There's a phenomenon called the next in line effect, first identified in 1973 by psychologist Malcolm Brenner. He found that people who were waiting for their turn to speak showed dramatically reduced memory for what the person directly before them said, because mentally they had already moved on. They were already editing their next sentence before the current one had even finished. And people who live with social anxiety or even just a hyperactive level of self-awareness are essentially stuck in that mode permanently, never fully present, always half a step ahead into what comes next, which means by the time a name is offered to them, they are already somewhere else entirely. Here is the reframe that Mega Psyche wants you to hold on to. If this is you, you do not have a memory problem. You have a preoccupation problem. And those are two completely different things with completely different solutions. Now I want to take a moment to speak directly to the people on the other side of this. The people whose names keep getting forgotten, because the emotional experience of that is real and it deserves to be acknowledged honestly. When your name gets forgotten, especially repeatedly by the same person, it lands like a quiet message. You did not matter enough to stick. That is how it feels even when it is completely and entirely wrong. That is what the brain hears. But here is the truth. The person who forgot your name was probably thinking about your conversation long after it ended. They remember what you said about your family. They remember the specific way you laughed at something. They remember an opinion you shared that genuinely stuck with them. They were present for all of it. They were just not quite present for the one arbitrary sound that was assigned to you before you had done a single thing worth remembering. And this brings us to the most important thing Mega Psyche can tell you about memory itself. Memory is not a recording device. Your brain does not store experiences the way a hard drive stores files. It stores impressions, emotions, patterns, fragments, and it prioritizes with brutal efficiency. High emotion, stored. Surprising or unexpected, stored. Connected to something you already know, stored. One arbitrary syllable handed to you at the exact moment you were busy trying to appear normal in front of a complete stranger? Good luck. People who forget names easily almost always share something else in common. They tend to be deeply associative thinkers. Their memory is richly emotional and contextual. They remember stories and feelings and the look on someone's face at a specific moment. Ask them what someone was wearing at an event 3 years ago, and they might actually tell you with startling accuracy. Ask them the name of the person standing next to that someone, and you will get a blank stare, because their brain was cataloging everything that actually mattered. The label was the one thing it decided to let go. This is not a flaw. It is a particular architecture of mind, one that is genuinely better suited to emotional attunement, to deep listening, to the kind of presence that makes people feel truly understood, and simply worse suited to the specific mechanical task of holding an arbitrary sound under social pressure. None of this means you should not try to improve. Repeating someone's name back to them immediately when you are introduced actually works. Connecting their name to a visual image or to someone you already know works. These techniques work because you're doing manually what your brain refuses to do automatically. You are building the bridge that was not there. You're giving Kevin a hook, so he stops floating and starts sticking. But the shame, the quiet, low-grade belief that forgetting names makes you an absent, dismissive, uncaring person who moves through the world without truly registering the people in it. That part is wrong. And it is worth saying with complete clarity because a huge number of people carry that belief without ever stopping to examine whether it is actually true. You are not absent. You are not dismissive. You're someone whose brain prioritizes differently. Someone who gets hijacked by their own internal weather. Someone who occasionally fails at the single least interesting thing about another human being, which is the arbitrary sound their parents chose for them before they had done anything worth remembering. The name was always the least of it. What you actually remember about people, the real texture of who they are, the things they said that stayed with you, the moments that meant something, that part is still there. It has always been there. And honestly, that is the kind of memory that actually matters. Now here's the question I want exploding in the comment section after this video. Do you think forgetting someone's name is genuinely disrespectful? Or do you think people who get offended by it are being too sensitive? Leave your most honest and controversial answer below, because I want this one to get heated. And if this video just explains something about yourself that you have never been able to put into words before, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you are subscribed to Mega Psyche, where we do this every single week. We will see you in the next one.